Hey everyone, it's Steve. I'm here in American Samoa on my 7th trip to the South Pacific and second time here in American Samoa. I'm here with my family and a couple of friends, and we're going to be doing some hiking here, which will include Mount Alava, which is seen there in the background. That will feature in two of the hikes, the Mount Alava hike and the Mount Alava Adventure hike. So starting here on the island of Tutuila, we've started hiking up the trail. Steep switchbacks to begin. Muddy conditions, but not extreme mud. I did this hike as a solo hike 6 years ago on our first trip to American Samoa. So I'm really happy to have my family here with me today, because I thought this was one of the most challenging but incredible hikes at the same time. So it's nice to be sharing it with them today. Looks like keeping this trail open requires a lot of trail maintenance. These trees no doubt get overgrown really quickly. Passing by a huge banyan tree on the trail. Look at this, hard to get it all in one shot. We did not really acclimate to the South Pacific humidity and climate before doing this hike, as we just got off the plane last night. But nice hiking conditions today, even though it's hot and humid. Got some cloud cover. But hiking here in the jungle definitely keeps us hot and sweaty, because wind doesn't really blow through. So it kind of traps the heat in here. Very interesting little tree that's taken root right here. The same as the one I showed you in my hand. One of the things I'm appreciating about this trail is the switchbacks. The trail doesn't just blaze straight up the mountain like it does often in like French Polynesia, but there's nice switchbacks to gently make our way up. Stefan found part of a plant that dropped down he wanted to show us. Look at that little pink tint on the end, Stefan. Right here we kind of reached our first clearing where we could see out to the ocean. Nice cool breeze just kind of blowing up and cooling us off right here. Perfect rest spot. The ridge is flattened out for a few minutes as the cool breeze continues to blow across. One of the things I've really been enjoying about this hike so far, the sound of the birds. Continuous sound of birds chirping, making noise as we're walking through the jungle here. Such a nice sound. The Mount Alava Adventure Trail is kind of broken down into 3 sections. So to start with, you have the initial ridge climb, steep uphill, all the way until you get to the main ridge line. And then from there, the second part of the trail is along that ridge line. And that's where a lot of the ladders and ropes come into play. And then there's, of course, the third section, which is heading back downhill using a different ridge line than this one we're going up here, which leads us down to a village. So it's kind of a loop hike. And then there's a road portion of the hike to get back to our vehicle, or you can catch a bus to cut off a little bit of that road walking, especially if it's hot. Hey Stefan, what do you think of this hike so far?
Good.
Is it challenging?
Yeah.
Here's our first view looking up at the main ridge line. I think that's the Mount Alava summit there to the right with the radio towers. But we're going to come up on the left there and just kind of walk along that ridge line across the top toward the Mount Alava summit. Just started raining here on the trail. You hear the sound of the raindrops not making its way through all this brush to us. We are on the final 1/3 section of this initial ridge climb up to the main ridge. It's been fairly gentle going. Mixture of some level ground, a little bit of downhill, and quite a bit of uphill. Right here we just came up on this nice viewpoint on the trail. There's Stefan and Daria resting on the benches. Let's take a look at this view. This is really special. Looking down at the village and out at the island and coastline here. Leaving this spot behind. Such a great viewpoint break on the trail. Stefan's checking out all the moss here growing on the tree. We're getting very close to the main ridge line, so it'll be nice to get all this initial steep uphill to get to the main ridgeline done, but then we're gonna have to deal with the ladders and ropes. It'll be a whole different challenge. That breeze sure feels good. It's been a lot cooler here in the upper half of this elevation climb. Totally different from the hot, humid jungle where we started. A little bit overgrown through here. Stefan's doing some bushwhacking. Well, we made it to the main ridge line. So we did that steep jungle climb there. It took quite a while, but now we're on the main ridge line. Looks like we're gonna have some bushwhacking to do as we look forward to the ladder climbs. Oh yeah, this is very overgrown here. Just starting out. Gotta watch our step here. It is nice to be up here on the main ridge line here on the Mount Alava Adventure Trail. A little bit of a break here. It's by no means easy with this bushwhacking and wet and muddy terrain, but it's a different part of the hike, and it feels good to be walking along the top here. It's 2:30 in the afternoon right now, but it's kind of dark along this ridge. Oh, fruit bat right there.
Oh.
He's hanging on the tree right there. Wow. Just back there we saw our first fruit bats of the trip. And I remember hiking the Mount Alava Trail last time, seeing several fruit bats flying around, but they were circling just above us here, up here along the main ridge, and landing on a tree very close to us. That was neat, getting to watch that fruit bat kind of just climb around the tree and then land and take off. Hasn't really been any views looking out to our left. You can see some of the mountains and the water through the trees, but not in full clarity. Very windy up here on this main ridge, which is a good thing. Right here, a very steep section. Steps kind of go straight down here. Gotta be careful. A little bit of a view here of Pongo Pongo Harbor. So we're continuing down this hard, steep part. Gotta be real careful through here. There's a big step coming up, Stefan. Let's take a look at everybody. Look at all this mud. We've all been passing through a lot of mud. That last 20 minutes was really steep downhill, muddy, slippery, steps with ropes, the works, bushwhacking. We got through it, had to take it slow and be very careful. but got through it okay. The only thing was we got a bit muddy, but pushing along the ridge here. Right here we had to navigate around a fallen tree on the trail. One of the harder parts. Oh! Thought I'd give another short trail update. Still walking along the main ridge, just minutes away from the junction. But we've all taken some falls now, some slips. Very challenging sections just prior to reaching this junction. Basically kind of zigzags downhill, bushwhacking, very muddy and slippery. So we got through it, but just want to alert everyone that might be trying this that you can be in for some bit of difficulty. Major overgrown trail right here. You can see kind of steps in the mud. But look at all this overgrown brush. Very slippery here, guys. Making our way down to the junction. This right here is the trail junction. Mount Alava summit. Continuing up this way, bushwhacking, and right on up to the end of this spur trail. Right here at this trail junction, we're gonna stop and not do this spur trail to the summit, but we're gonna head down this way toward the village, head downhill. And the reason why it's getting late, it's going to be dark in 2 hours, and this has been a lot of difficult bushwhacking for the family, so this is probably a good spot for all of us to stop and head downhill. But I'm still going to finish this portion of the trail when I do the regular Mount Alava trail. So check out that video and you'll get to see the missing portion of the trail here to complete the entire Mount Alava Adventure Trail. But for now, we're gonna head on downhill.
Yeah.
Heading downhill now, and hoping that this trail is in a little bit better maintained condition, leading down to the village. Coconut crab right here. He's in the middle of the trail. I'm not sure how to get past him. I think he's going into attack mode, but we need to get by him. To figure out how to get around this coconut crab. He's blocking the trail. There, he backed up. Very neat experience back there. We ran into a coconut crab, as you saw, right in the middle of the trail. We couldn't get by. Had to get around him and get him to back off. But it was neat for Stefan to see his very first coconut crab and to see him this way while we were hiking. Coconut crabs are very special creatures. Really like them. I saw one before on Ololsenga 6 years ago. Also when I was hiking. Look how these trees grew right here to form an X on the trail. It's almost like the trail got naturally blocked off. Kind of funny. Another ladder section. This is quite a long section heading down, but It's not that steep. We're about halfway down from the junction to the village, but I wanted to mention that most of the time this trail has been easier than the way that we went up, but a couple extremely hard spots. In fact, the hardest spot on the whole trail that I found, where we had to kind of wiggle through a little tunnel to get through. That was perfect size for Stefan to get through, but for me and Daria it was a lot harder. But we made it through, and it was right after that where we saw the coconut crab. Very large frog or toad that we spotted here on the trail. Came close to stepping on him.
Whoa!
There he goes. The sun finally decided to make an appearance here as we're getting closer to the bottom of the trail. Could have used a little more of that earlier. He's hopping away. Found this nice flower that fell to the ground. Look how close we are to finishing this hike. The village is just down below. What a great view as we come to the bottom of this trail. Last little part, we're just dropping down to the little country road right there that leads out to the main road. Here's our view. Here's the trail exit point. We just came down from the adventure trail here into the village, got some drinks at the village market, and yeah, that was a really hard hike, very challenging for the family, very overgrown in places. Really glad we just did the loop, and I will look to try to finish that one missing segment when I do the Mount Alava Trail in a couple days. But we gotta walk along the road now and get back to our vehicle as it's gonna be getting dark soon. Hope you enjoyed a look at the Mount Alava Adventure Trail, at least most of it.